We are Dexian, in the business for good.
May I now request Venkat sir onto the stage, please? Thank you.
It's my sincere pleasure in inviting our panelists to have a short fireside chat on Middle East. So, my pleasure to invite Mr. Firas Al Hindi, Chief Administrative Officer, Dexian and Regional Head, Middle East. Please put your hands together. And it's my pleasure in inviting Mr. Ismail Mohammed. Please come. He's a strategy and digital transformation specialist, a CXO advisor. I've had the pleasure of talking to him, working with him in the Middle East, and I'm just super impressed. I think this will be very, very helpful for all of us. So please, Ismail. So Firas, I'm going to hit you with the first one. I've been seeing you fly into India practically every 4 months, and I noticed that you always stop in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. Can you please tell us what's going on?
So Dexian is, as you know, is a global company, and I stopped in Dubai because we have business in Dubai. We started in 2018. We have a free zone office, and we have been doing business with them, executing out of India, offshoring, and one project from the US. So for all these years, from 2000 till now, we've been doing offshore model with Dubai through local partners. But I'm very glad to tell you that we're changing that model and we're establishing a more presence in Dubai. Wonderful. So we're establishing a mainland company, and we're going to expand our services and bring what we're good at, which is staffing, consulting, in addition to managed services.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to being in Dubai. And we're starting in Dubai and then expanding to other countries in the region, possibly?
Possibly. The issue with expanding is we need to measure twice and cut once, understand the business environment, understand the relationship, understand the payment system, and our compliance, basically. Yeah. But if there's business, we're absolutely trying to expand.
That's very good news. So I'm going to go to Mr. Ismail for a minute.
Sure.
It's just been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Every time we get on a Teams call or a Zoom call and we discuss our stuff, I want to ask you, because you've been in the region for a while and you've worked at UK, what do you see is happening with responsible AI or AI in general in the Middle East, specifically with corporate and also with the government, if you can share where it's possible? Sure. And then tell us what's your role. How do you approach that problem?
Sure. I think it's been a fantastic experience working in Middle East. I've just been around 3 years now, working in UK for almost more than a decade. And it's been, what I noticed is it's been incredible growth in terms of where Middle East is heading in terms of AI. You'll be shocked to know that there are about 800 AI companies just in Dubai. And 65% of those companies have called out that their headquarters are based in Dubai, right? So we're not counting Abu Dhabi and other Emirates. And when you look at Kingdom of Saudi, they're looking at 20 billion investment just on AI for until 2030. And you look at their initiatives that are currently in place, they are in good 3-4 billion just for this year, right? So there is a huge growth in terms of Middle East and the untapped potential, what we can do in Middle East specifically, given the time that we are in and the changes that the overall government is currently trying to do with their own citizens. I think there's never been a time in Saudi with the rapid change that is happening, just not on AI specifically, but in terms of the overall country itself, with the new rules and new policies, regulations, that is really driving the citizens towards, making their life more better. And I think AI plays a crucial role for them. So that's been my very humble viewpoint in terms of where the market is heading. But I think the crucial, what I'm going to talk about specifically on AI readiness, and this is probably similar for enterprises and government to a certain extent, And this is not just for Middle East, but for across the world, right? So typically you look at how well a enterprise is ready for AI. And there are 5 main dimensions for this. The very first dimension is the strategy. The second aspect is your governance. The third is talent. The fourth is data. And the fifth is technology. This is like the broad category of dimensions that basically allows you to measure within your organization how AI ready are you, right? So I'll let you go on the strategy piece. That is close to my heart, and that's what I do day in and day out, right?
Absolutely. Would love to hear.
And I know it's been a long day, and I try to keep my talk really, really short. And I think this is what I do to most of my CDO engagements that I do in Middle East. And I try and explain because simplicity always is easier for people to get through. And I think the way I lay out in terms of the strategy is into 3 horizons, right? The first horizon focus mainly on data, governance, policies, and making sure you have the right level of frameworks and policies in place, standards in place, to make your organization ready for AI. At the same time, what I get to hear from CDOs is we can't wait, right? Yep. They want something really quickly, fast, that they want to adopt within the organization because they have to show AI adoption. Because everybody's on the trend, right?
Yep.
And that's, again, is a good opportunity for us to make money. So that's where I come in and say there's a tactical approach where we say that there are generic use cases while you're doing the Horizon 1, where you're fixing the data issues and making sure the data governance is in place. We'll look at bringing productive AI use cases, which are very generic. Like, for example, the HR function, right? You can create a workflow for them, which is generic for any domain, any industry, where they can create a job profile in 2 minutes, right? Rather than spending half a day on it.
Yep.
And how do you do that is to help them prompt with the right set of questions and the framework and the workflow to deliver that. So it's contract management, for example. Somebody wants to review contracts. That can be done in minutes rather than spending hours and looking at all the regulations in place. So that can be trained and done well. So that is the quick wins for you. And that gives a good visibility in the organization that your organization is getting towards AI, right? And that's the Horizon 1. So I don't want to go too detail now. So Horizon 2 is basically focused more on getting the right use cases. And this is where my role is to work with the business to bring out the blueprint. And the blueprint basically is nothing but attaching your vision to your business objectives. The business objectives actually drive your AI initiatives. And that basically makes sure that you're actually giving some value back.
Can you give me an example of a business objective?
So business objective could be like they want to deliver concept designs much faster, which less cost, for example. So basically, overall, they want to have a better productivity in terms of time and cost. Right?
Got it.
And for that, there have been a lot of discussions today, and I think many people talked about processes, values, right? The term that I use in my experience is value streams. A value stream is and anybody who's from enterprise architecture will probably know what I'm talking about. So it's basically an abstraction of your business process to a higher level to understand what actually happens, what runs your business, right? What runs your process, what runs your design, concept design that you're trying to build.
Yep.
So by doing and understanding and underpinning the technology, the data, the people, and everything else, I could say that you're taking 60 hours and you're spending X amount of money. And with this AI that I'm bringing, you're getting the 60 hours of worth of work done in 2 hours. And that's like, really possible? I said, yes, possible. So I made a use case for where I showed 300% ROI on a specific use case, and that was a quick win. And the only question that he had to me was, are you going to take away my job? I said, no, hold on. So I'm going to get your productivity up by making sure that you're getting more iterations done with the board and getting more finer details in terms of finishing and getting completion with the lesser cost of money. So I think that's just one example. There are many examples like that I've been doing. But just trying to highlight that you need to have the right framework to deliver the strategy. And I have 4 more other dimensions to talk about, but I'll just keep that for now, and I'm more than happy to talk about more on other areas as well.
Wow.
Thank you.
Now let's see, there are 5 pillars. You took the first pillar, there are 3 dimensions.
Yeah, so strategy for being the first, and And the second is governance, which is very important. Again, we talked about a lot of AI policies, AI guardrails, all that data governance, all that comes into picture, along with data ownership, domain ownership. So all that covers in that second dimension. And then the people part, right? The talent aspect, which you guys are spearheading, right? And this is where I'm relying on you.
Yeah, you just gave us the leg side full toss that Firas is going to hit it for a 6. I know he plays cricket. I mean, he likes the coffee. So Firas, he's talking about talent in the region. That's an opportunity for us, right?
Right. So this is our bread and butter. I mean, finding the right talent. We've did it in 70 locations around the world.
Absolutely.
And that's one more location that we feel very confident with the closeness to India, with the team, the wonderful delivery team that we have.
Yeah.
We can definitely do well. So the gap of talent, we're absolutely ready to fill.
Right. So that right there is the synergy that we're exploring right now, not just in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but across the region. And there's a lot of synergy in corporate and public. So with that, I'm going to come back to you. We have 3 minutes, Ismail. You talked about the 5th pillar, technology, and the 4th pillar, data. How does that, give us an example of how we could do this together. What motivates you there?
I think the technology is the last dimension, and that is the way it should be. And the problem, and I always face this problem in Middle East, where if I go and ask for a problem,
Yeah.
they said, forget my problem, give me this tool, and I'll fix my problem with that. I said, hold on. That's not what I'm asking
so
for.
true of India too.
Yeah, it's true. I know I've not worked in India at all, to be honest,
Yeah.
but this is what I get most places. And like I said, let's not talk about the tool at all. Tell me your problem. And so that's how I start first, and I start the problem and understand why the problem exists in the first place, right? Forget about the what, forget about the how. And then I probably look at, so I fortunate enough to work towards enterprise architecture again and data side as well. So I work from data technology rationalization point of view, like what technology currently exists, can that actually satisfy the requirement, and how can we basically bring in new tools like AI tools, specifically in this specific case, to fulfill that need. So I think it's more on the lesser importance last. That's why I said the technology is the last element of it. But it's again crucial, right? You need technology to enable you to bring the right solutions to the market. But that's not where you want to start with AI, right? So don't start with, I want to use ChatGPT, for example, right? Because you can't use ChatGPT in Middle East because it's open source, right?
Yep.
I mean, you need to have data residency that will be met. So again, it's completely different altogether. So those are the aspects I would probably look at. But again, the blueprint I was talking about, I can speak a bit in great detail if I have time. I work with business to understand right from the vision to the technology, right? The technology is the last layer in my slide.
Yeah.
The one slide that gives the whole blueprint, starting from the vision, where they can get all the use case value, and the technology is the last element of it. So you can understand why I keep it that last. So yeah, I think that's all I will add given the time we have. So thanks.
No, wonderful. I have a minute. And I think we've worked together. We are in the final stages of putting a compelling proposal together for the public domain, Dexian, and with the help of Ismail. So we're very hopeful. Firas is up to date on all of that. We're also very hopeful that we'll have these offices open and then take this forward in the Middle East, because there is a real requirement for AI. There's a real requirement for digital transformation. So that's our plan going forward. So thank you, Ismail.
Sure, thank you so much
for waiting so long.
It's my pleasure. Honestly, it's it's my privilege to be here, and I think I was in just 2 minds to be here or not be. I made the decision last 3 days back about coming here. And I'm so glad I made it, because I got to know so many things that you guys are doing which I never had the visibility before. And I'm sure just with one aspect that we got ourselves, we had 26 people competing for the proposal, and we were the top 3.
Yep.
And it's all because of you guys, because you helped me at the right time. You got the demo done in less than 24 hours, right? So it's incredible. So that's what excites me, and I think there's definitely a lot of things that I can go to market. I've got a lot of things in my mind that I want to execute, and I think one key takeaway, I mean, everything was really great. I think one key takeaway for me was in this whole event today was is your tagline, right? So Dexian, business,
In the business for good.
Yeah, business for the good, right? So that's really truly stands out, right?
You got
from
me. I'm
the
motivated
early
by that
morning
as well.
session, right from the breakfast till now. I think that was my key takeaway, personal takeaway, right? There's a lot of other things that people had. A lot of companies say this, but I can truly see that, and that's what makes a difference, right, for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right?
Thank you. Thanks, Firas. Really appreciate this.
Thank you so much, Venkat sir. Thank you so much, Firas sir. Thank you so much,
Thank you for
Ismail
this.
sir.
We are Dexian. In the business for good.